35 Fun Facts. For October 30th in 1735, on October 30th, John Adams, the second President of the United States, was born in Braintree, Massachusetts. He played a crucial role in drafting the U.S. Constitution and was a key figure in the American Revolution. On October 30th, 1864, Helena, the capital city of Montana, was founded after 4 prospectors discovered gold nearby. It became known as Last Chance Gulch and helped establish Montana as a territory in 1864 and a state in 1889. In 1938, Orson Welles' famous radio broadcast of The War of the Worlds led to widespread panic across the United States. Believing it to be a real news broadcast, many listeners were convinced that Earth was being invaded by Martians. On October 30th, 1501, the Ballet of Chestnuts took place in Rome, Italy. This controversial banquet was hosted by Cesare Borgia and supposedly involved erotic entertainment, with chestnuts thrown to provoke lewd acts between guests and performers. In 1953, on this day, U.S. President Eisenhower approved the National Security Council Paper No. 162-2, which concluded that the United States should maintain a strong military force centered around a nuclear capability for deterrence and defense purposes. October 30th is National Checklist Day, celebrating the birth of the modern checklist in aviation. In 1935, a Boeing Model 299 crashed due to pilot error, leading to the development of pre-flight checklists for pilots to ensure safety. In 1956, the first use of a cardiac pacemaker in a human patient occurred on October 30th. Dr. John Callahan, a Canadian cardiac surgeon, implanted the first device to control heart rhythm, paving the way for future innovations in cardiac care. On October 30th, 1905, Tsar Nicholas II of Russia issued the October Manifesto, granting civil liberties and the establishment of an elected legislature. This significant event ultimately led to the creation of the Duma and influenced future European politics. In 1986, the United Nations declared October 30th to be International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. This day is dedicated to raising awareness and promoting activities aimed at eradicating poverty all over the world. On October 30th, 1207, Rumi, a prominent Persian poet, was born. His works, written in the 13th century, continue to inspire and be celebrated in modern times, making him one of the most famous and well-loved poets in history. October 30th, 1888, marked the first recorded use of a ballpoint pen. The inventor John J. Loud created the pen to write on rough surfaces, and it eventually became a widely used writing instrument around the world. In 1961, the Soviet Union detonated the Tsar Bomba on October 30th, which remains the most powerful nuclear weapon ever tested. With a yield of 50 megatons, it caused significant damage to the surrounding area, but thankfully did not lead to any injuries or deaths. On October 30th, 1009, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem was destroyed by the Fatimid Caliph al-Hakim bi-Amr Allah. It was rebuilt in the 11th century and remains an important site for Christian pilgrimage today. October 30th, 1939, marked the first appearance of the popular comic strip Superman in the New York World's Fair Comics. This event solidified the character's popularity and led to the creation of numerous films, television shows, and other adaptations. In 1900, on October 30th, Russia's first car, the Yakovlev Frieze, was produced by Yakovlev and Frieze Automobile Partnership. The partnership created other car models and marked the beginning of the Russian automotive industry. On October 30th, 1817, the independent Republic of Gran Colombia was officially declared, which initially included modern-day Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, and Panama. The republic was led by Simon Bolivar, a key figure in the independence movement. October 30th is National Mischief Night in the UK, known as a night of minor pranks and lesser criminal activities. The night is celebrated in various ways throughout the UK, with some areas focusing on more light-hearted mischief than others. In 1994, on October 30th, the first zombie walk took place in Toronto, Canada. The event, which involves participants dressing up as zombies and wandering through the city, has since become a worldwide phenomenon. On October 30th, 1485, Henry VII of England was crowned king after the Wars of the Roses. His ascension to the throne marked the beginning of the Tudor dynasty and ushered in a new era of English history. In 1537, on October 30th, future English Queen Jane Seymour died of postnatal complications, just 12 days after giving birth to her son. Her son would later become King Edward VI of England. On October 30th, 1894, the railroad contractor, Daniel J. Morrell, filed a patent for a time clock designed to record employee hours. The invention, also known as a time recorder, became an essential tool for businesses managing large workforces. In 1922, on October 30th, Benito Mussolini became the Prime Minister of Italy after his fascist movement seized power. His authoritarian rule lasted until his ouster in 1943 during World War II. On October 30th, 1909, the ocean liner RMS Mauritania set a world record for the fastest transatlantic crossing, completing the trip in just over 4 days. The record stood for over 20 years and established the ship as a symbol of luxury and speed. In 1950, on October 30th, the popular comic strip Peanuts was first published, featuring beloved characters like Charlie Brown and Snoopy. Created by Charles M. Schulz, the comic strip would eventually be syndicated to over 2,600 newspapers in 75 countries. On October 30th, 1974, legendary heavyweight boxers Muhammad Ali and George Foreman faced off in The Rumble in the Jungle, held in Zaire, Africa. Ali's surprising victory over the younger, stronger Foreman became one of the most memorable moments in sports history. In 1981, on October 30th, the launch of the NASA Space Shuttle Columbia was canceled due to a computer failure. The Space Shuttle eventually launched on November 12, 1981, marking the beginning of numerous Space Shuttle missions. On October 30th, 1863, Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard passed away. His writings, which focused on themes such as existentialism and Christianity, had a profound impact on later generations of philosophers and theologians. In 1974, on October 30th, The Rumble in the Jungle took place, featuring legendary heavyweight boxers Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. Ali's surprising knockout victory in the 8th round became one of the most memorable moments in boxing and sports history. On October 30th, 1945, Jackie Robinson signed a contract with the Brooklyn Dodgers, breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball. As the first African American to play in the modern MLB, Robinson's talent and courage paved the way for other athletes of diverse backgrounds. In 1925, on October 30th, Scottish inventor John Logie Baird conducted the first public demonstration of a working television system. This significant event marked the beginning of the television industry as we know it today. On October 30th, 1795, the French Directory was established as a new form of government during the French Revolution. The executive branch was made up of 5 directors, who served as a more stable alternative to the previous unstable governments. In 1918, on October 30th, the Ottoman Empire signed an armistice with the Allies, marking the end of their involvement in World War I. The armistice eventually led to the disintegration of the empire and the rise of the modern Republic of Turkey. On October 30th, 1960, the first episode of The Flintstones aired on television. This animated sitcom was set in a fictional prehistoric town and featured characters like Fred Flintstone and his family, becoming a classic part of television history. In 1975, on October 30th, the New York Daily News published the well-known headline, "Ford to City, Drop Dead," in response to then-President Gerald Ford denying federal financial assistance to New York City, which was facing bankruptcy. On October 30th, 2005, the 250 millionth American was born, marking a milestone in the growth of the United States population. The exact identity of the baby is unknown, but the event was celebrated with a focus on the diverse nature of the country. Browse all the fun facts per